Today we are looking at CSL. We are in the third strand, that is action research. Remember, this is going to help you in doing your CSL project. Learning this strand prior to doing the project is very helpful. Action research is a practical and collaborative way to solve problems in your own community. And this community you're talking about can be a school or a workplace. So unlike the traditional research where it focuses only on you studying a topic and you build a theory, in action research you take immediate action. The key characteristics of action research is number one, it's context specific. It solves problems within your local school or community. Another characteristic is that it is cyclical process. It repeats a continuous cycle of planning, acting, observing, and then you reflect. It is collaborative in that it requires working directly with affected community members. And in the school community here, we're talking about teachers or leaders. So it includes reflection, whereby critical thinking about your practices and project outcomes. Key characteristic of action research, it is a practical learning. Basically, it aims to learn by doing to make things better. An example of action research in a school environment. Let's say we have a problem. The problem is students are frequently missing early morning math classes. So the plan here is you introduce short, interactive educational games during the first 10 minutes of class. So the action is the teacher runs these games daily for 3 weeks. So the observation is whereby attendance registers shows a 25% increase on time arrivals. So what is the reflection? In the reflection, students respond well to competitive play, so the teacher decides to keep the games permanently. So we have the problem, we have the plan, the action, the observation, and the reflection. And then I'll give you another example. Let's say in a neighborhood community, the problem is plastic waste is clogging a shared neighborhood drainage ditch. So what's the plan? The plan is you organize community cleanup days and place clearly labeled recycling bins nearby. The action is residents clean the ditch and monitor bin usage for 1 month. What is the observation? The ditch stays clear, but the plastic bin overflows too quickly. So what is the reflection? The strategy works, but the community needs a larger bin and a weekly pickup schedule. Let's look at example 3, that is in a local library. What is the problem? The problem is that teenagers rarely visit the neighborhood library after school hours. What is the plan? You set up a dedicated youth study corner with free Wi-Fi and group seating. The action is the library rearranges its space and advertises the new corner to local schools. What is the observation? Teen visitor numbers double, but noise complaints from older adults increase. So what is the reflection here? So the project successfully attracts youth but needs acoustic dividers to balance the space. From my 3 examples, already you've known the 4 stages of action research cycle, because it's always a continuous loop. You have plan, act, observe, and reflect. So that is the loop. And in planning, you identify a clear issue in your immediate environment. When you identify the issue, you gather details to understand why the problem happens. You have to gather the details. And then you design a concrete, realistic solution to test it out. So you must have a realistic solution. It should be concrete to test it out. Then in the acting stage of the research cycle is you implement your chosen plan directly into the target setting. You deliver the changes or basically the interventions exactly as scheduled. And then you keep the process collaborative by involving local team members. In observing, you have to collect evidence. That is, if evidence or numbers. And this is also about direct feedback during the implementation. And you document any immediate effects or changes that occur. In observing, you also monitor how participants interact with your new solution. Then in the reflecting stage, you analyze all your collected information to see what worked. So here is whereby you evaluate any mistakes or unexpected complications that arose, and you determine the next steps or changes needed to restart the plan. Plan, act, observe, reflect. Planning is you identify a problem and map out a solution. Acting is you put your solution into practice. Observing is you watch and measure the results of your action. Reflect is you think about what worked well and what needs to change. Other characteristics of action research that differentiate it from other research is it helps improve local practices. It requires a deep personal reflection. The process is continuous. Basically, it's ongoing. It's heavily on factual evidence. Outcomes must be visible and transparent. The main goal is practical solutions, and then topics should be interesting and relevant. As I told you, there are 4 main phases of action research, which are, remember that it's a repeating cycle for improvement. Plan. You identify a problem and create a strategy. You act. You put the plan into real-world action. And then observing is whereby you collect data and watch the results. Reflect is you analyze the outcome to learn from them. So let's apply this in the community. A littering example. So you identify the problem, which is you notice market littering as a core issue. Where you gather info is you talk to vendors to understand the problem. Design is to plan a community cleanup day. Implementation is whereby you conduct the cleanup and add trash bins. Measuring now is you count the remaining litter to check progress, check if bins are used correctly, and then adjusting, you plan educational workshop for better results. Let's look at another community issue. This is the community issue brainstorming guide. And in order to guide you, I'm going to give you an example of an issue. The issue is inadequate safe drinking water access. Group the whole framework into 3. We have the phase, whereby we have plan, act, observe, and then you reflect. So we have the phase, we have the action step, and then we have the practical group application. The action research cycle. And I said the first phase is you plan. The action step here is you identify the core problem. And here, remember, we're talking about inadequate safe drinking water access. So practical group application here is you survey households about water source cleanness. Still in the plan, you have the research solutions, is whereby you map out community water points needing purification. All this takes place in the plan. So action step in the plan is you identify the core problem, and you by surveying. How do you apply it? You survey households about water source cleanness. And then still in the plan, you research the solutions. That is, you map out community water points needing purification. So we go to the second phase, which is act. In acting, we implement targeted fixes. That is, we install simple biocide filters at central water stations. In acting, we can educate the community. That is, we conduct brief workshops on proper water storage hygiene. And then we go to the third phase. This is observing. In observing, we monitor health changes. That is, we track a local clinic records for waterborne illness cases. Also, in observing, we inspect filter upkeep. That is, we check filter physical condition after 1 month. Then we go to stage 4, whereby we reflect. And in phase 4 of reflection is whereby we review our overall successes. We determine if the water quality improved significantly. And still, when we are reflecting, we address remaining gaps. Is whereby we plan a maintenance schedule for broken filter parts. Did you understand? Kindly let me know in the comment section below. Also, let me know what I can look at tomorrow. Thanks a lot for subscribing and listening to me. God bless you. Benefits of action research. Number 1, you have local relevance. Basically, it solves problems that directly affect our neighborhoods. Number 2, we have practical solutions. It creates real working answers on the ground. Then number 3, we have community involvement. It brings people together to build lasting changes. Number 4 is empowerment. It helps citizens take ownership of their problems. 5, there is continuous learning. It allows teams to adapt and improve over time. Building capacity. It teaches valuable research and problem-solving skills. And then you get a deep understanding. It gives clear insights into complex local issues.